Welcome to the BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B, aka Phony. Today we're going to be talking about a game called Tales of Fantasy, made by a little company called IGG. Maybe you've heard of them. They've made like several thousand games, all based off the same engines, kind of reskin. Anyways, they made a game a while back called Voyage Century, and we talked about it on this show. Maybe you guys remember? So the guys at ZAM told me that I was going to be reviewing another IGG game. I was like, seriously, let's just like not do that because it was funny the first time, probably won't be funny the second time. But things are a little bit different.
All right, character creation. So first thing I notice is that my mouse turns into a little glowing orb of some sorts, and as I move it around, the shadow moves around and the light source kind of changes. And this is good for determining the depth of the chest of your character, because that's a very important thing in your average MMORPG. So let's go ahead and speed things up a little bit. You can see that there's two different factions, and you can either be a tall person or a short person, whether or not it's a short fat kid or a short skinny kid, or a tall feminine guy or a tall muscular guy. I mean, you know, whatever, different hairstyles, different faces. Not a lot of flexibility here, but for IGG, this is actually fucking leaps and bounds, let me tell you. This was the very first day of closed beta, and it was packed. My first impressions are that the game looks relatively impressive. The fonts are completely retarded, and there's no way to really change them yet. The glow and everything is a bit too much for my taste, too. I guess because it is Tales of Fantasy, I suppose it makes some sort of sense that the bloom is set to 11, but that still doesn't quite justify it for me. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the male 15 to 45 demographic, but when I fantasize about Olivia Wilde, I don't add a crazy soap opera filter to the scene. Not that it would be a deal breaker or anything, I'm just, Whew, okay, so anyways, so for some reason, when I re-logged in, all the vegetation was skewed all over the place. I'm sure it had something to do with my install got corrupted. I didn't feel like uninstalling it, but I want you guys to see the top there. You see where it says, earning the respect of the rebels, blah, blah, blah. For whatever reason, they have this permanent scrolling news ticker of things that people are doing throughout the world of the Tales of the Fantasies. Not even 3 minutes into gameplay, a quest sends me to fetch an item at the bottom of some random lake. And I did it, you know, not thinking that this could quite possibly be the greatest obstacle in some random gamer's career. Look at these guys. They're sitting there treading water because they can't figure out how to swim down. It's not like it's rocket science, guys. You just point the camera down and push the W and your guy swims down. But you know these guys are pissed and they're probably cursing out the screen as if the game had something to do with it.
Oh man, this game fucking sucks. I can't even swim down. What, I need a special potion or something?
Yo, I can't even swim in real life. How fuck am I supposed to swim in a game, dog?
Apparently it's such a widespread global issue that not only is it the #1 question on their FAQ on their website, it's also on the streaming ticker in-game. Something is terribly wrong here. Let's talk about mounts, since the promo trailer throws it all up in your face like it's some kind of revolutionary gameplay feature. You get your first one around level 5, and it's like, woo, I got my mount, level 5, boom, I'm gonna do all this stuff, it's all great, you can do your PvE, yeah, it's all cool and everything, you don't have to get off for nothing, right? And then you realize it's really not all that fast. I mean, it's your first one, level 5, blah, 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 but you know, in previous games, if you get your mount, you'll be, yeah, I got my motherfucking mount! I don't quite feel that way about this one. And it's not like it's unique, everybody has the same one, regardless of the faction. Unlike other considerably more popular games in the same genre, your mounts actually take up bag space, which kind of sucks in a game that, you know, is all about collecting mounts, right? I mean, now you have to buy more bags, it probably costs IRL money and all that stuff. So since my bags are full and I can't unmount without open space, I'm gonna see what happens when I jump in this lake. I'm sure the client's gonna crash. Oh, look at that. They thought of it. You know, there's pretty much never gonna be a reason to not be on a mount. Now, if you notice during character creation, there was no option for me to choose which class I wanted to be. That's because their system allows you to go through and choose which path you want to take, the melee or the magic side, for example. Once you choose a path, you gotta choose skills within that path. In order to get skills, you have to spend skill points. In order to gain skill points, you have to kill mobs and turn in quests. From what I can see, each mob yields a number of skill points that its level is. Or I could word that different, but I think you get it. And then once you get enough points, you can turn around and spend them on core abilities or class abilities, augmenting the certain skills that you've already selected. Make sense? Another interesting feature is the Spirit Soul Fusion thing. You could take the Soul Crystal, and you get one every 10 levels or so, and it allows you to absorb the stats from your gear. It deletes your gear, and you maintain those core stats. Then you can turn around and get more armor and repeat the process 10 levels later. questing is on par with what you would expect from your average MMO. Go and kill X amount of this, go and kill Y amount of that, collect these, bring them back, etc, etc. Sometimes though, the quest can be just a little too easy. You just kind of go and just click on the same thing over and over again. Don't know what's going on there. And then boom, done. And I've got to say, it is shockingly easy to grind in this game. Not saying that, you need to grind. I'm just saying that it's very easy. This is the starting area, but I've explored out relatively far, and no matter where I go, mobs seem to be pretty close together. So here I am just standing here. I don't even have to walk over to the mob to collect the loot, as you can see. I mean, this really gives ranged kind of the, advantage. Here's a good example. I'm level 6, and I've just consumed a 2 times XP pot that will last me for the next hour, which is a little overkill since I only need 7 minutes to level twice. The lower left corner is my XP bar, and you can see that I've already gained 1 level, and I'm quickly working on my second one. Pretty OP. The only PvP I've seen so far is dueling, and as you can see, the same abilities that allow me to level twice within 7 minutes are also allowing me to kite this poor bastard around to the point to where he basically just gives up and goes back about his business. During my journeys of fantasy tales, journey quests, things, I realized that I wasn't dying. And there were plenty of times where I got really close to dying, but I didn't, and I figured, oh, I got lucky or something, I have no idea. I decided to collect a bunch of mobs together to see if I could just, kill myself. I could get it on film, I could check that part off. It's like, great, I put down the report, this is what happened when you died, you have to fetch a body, do you have to bribe somebody to get out of hell? I don't know, I wanted to figure it out, and I wanted to show you guys. Well, it wasn't happening. I got some guys together, let the beat on me, and then some dickhead come around, he's all like, oh, I'm gonna save you, blah, blah, blah. I starts healing me, or starts killing the mobs, and I'm like, fucking thanks, dude, but I don't even bother to say anything because half of them don't speak English anyways, so I just move on. I finally found a group of mobs worthy of my blood, and I stood there and I took it, and I wasn't actually dying. My HP kept depleting, but it kept refilling again, so I don't know what was going on. There was nobody around me healing me, and so I guess it's a bug that you don't die? Maybe they didn't put in the dying part yet, so they just let everybody just continuously get their HP back? What the hell? Well, since I can't die, I decided to go exploring. Got to go check out new areas. I found this cool city, got to look around. It was pretty epic, really wide open, probably a little too wide open, looked kind of empty and barren. I also got to check out some of the mounts. We got a cheetah, we got a tiger, we got the creepy Chinese New Year thing, and another horse. Part of the city, and decided to go exploring some more. Since I can't die, there's really no penalty. I decided to go ahead and, kind of mock these guys a little bit. What's up? Oh, I can't die. Oh, snap. Your care. I guess I pushed the envelope just a little too far. But at least now we can see what happens when you die. You get to choose to go to some random place, some town, or here. I guess I need some kind of thing for that. By the way, these crystals are actually a teleportation device that allows you to teleport yourself instantly to any location that you've been previously. That has another crystal, of course. Keyword there, instantly. That's right, no silly griffins or birds or wings on sprouts to fly me to some other place, so no sightseeing, guys, sorry. Last thing on my list of really weird things that Asian developers like to put in their MMOs, a random pop quiz. The questions that had nothing to do with the game. Actually, some of the questions were kind of hard. I went through and I answered them as quickly as possible. I didn't know what was going on. I'm right in the middle of a fight and shit, and I have to take a pop quiz? What the hell? The reward for passing, though, is a cool title. In this case, great. The fact that 7 out of 10 got me ranked 26? Not so great.
What do you guys think? You think the IGG is kind of stepping up their game a little bit? Maybe put a little more resources in and making it, or did they just kind of turn the blurry and the brightness and the glow and all that shit up to over 9,000, and so it's all like, I'm fancy, look at me, because all the popular games have glow. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's in beta and kind of not really in beta because all of your characters are going to be saved once the beta is over. And the item mall is open, so it's not really in beta. It's kind of like the game's released, but they're going to call it beta until they get all the bugs fixed. I don't know. Those guys over there, man, they do some weird stuff sometimes. And I meant the guys over at IGG.